What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I'm your host, Rexx Ruger. Watching my back, as always, is the Alexis Arguello puppet. We're back with another banger. You know the motto, folks. Legends, luminaries, world champions, and fighters on the come-up. All coming here to chop it up with your boy, Reckless Rexx, to have the most amazing and real boxing conversations anywhere on planet Earth. We're about to have one now. Mr. International is going to South Africa, man. We got a good one, man, and my guest is here, so let's get down to it ASAP. Here we go. And we'll get him in here. And again, folks, this is where I need the Jeopardy theme music. If anybody can purchase me the rights to it when we're waiting for guests, this is the time that I need it right here. I simply need it. And we will get him in here, man. We just got to get him to... Just got to get you to get your camera and your microphone up there, champ. Can you hear me? Philip, there he is. I got you. How are you? Hold on, I got to get your... You got to turn on your microphone down there. Bottom of the screen. You got to get your audio up. There we go. Now I got you. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. I'm very good. And you, how you doing?
Great, man. I appreciate you doing this, man. It's a pleasure to meet you, man. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no, not a problem at all.
And I especially appreciate you doing it on short notice. We were scheduled for tomorrow. I got home from my day job and found out that the interview that I had scheduled had to be rescheduled. So I figured that I would throw it out there, man, and see if you were available today, man. So I appreciate especially you doing it on such short notice. So thank you.
Not a problem. It's a little bit dark where I'm standing.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
Can you see me?
I got to ask you, though, man, I texted you, just out of curiosity, man, to see if you were related to Lovemore. And you said that you were, man. But then, oddly enough, you two both fought each other, though. What was that like?
Look, for me, it was great as a young brother to him, to learn more skills from him, even though he did find me so hard. But
Yeah.
it was great. It was great, man. Boxing is a fun sport, eh?
Yeah, yeah. And so for you, man, how did it all start, man? How early did you get a pair of boxing gloves on?
When I started my boxing career, I was only 8 years. When I started my boxing career, I was very young.
Yeah.
I used to cry, running after my brother, going to the gym, and I love to join also to see what's happening, also to take me out of fighting other people, youngsters in the street. And I said it's better to take boxing, because boxing is the only sport that can make you be a straight person and concerned.
And were you getting into a lot of fights as a kid?
Yeah, yes, man.
Yes,
I used to,
yeah.
now it's better to boxing.
Better to get paid for it.
Yeah, it's better to fight for something you're getting paid for. As
Yeah.
much as the amateur, we never paid. We're fighting for trophies and medals, but it was good for me to get a medal or a trophy to show, at home that look, I won this, or I was beaten, I got a silver or I got a bronze, but it was great.
Yeah.
To gain them and exchange punches with other kids. That's great, man. Yeah.
And so like when you're getting in fights as a kid, how did you realize that this was something that you were just naturally, did you figure out you were just naturally good at it?
Yeah, I did figure out that I was naturally good. And it's like I joined the gym, and I did great in the gym, and I was given, I remember the first sparring, I sparred one of the guys called Mashudu, Skip. He was older than me, and he was a great boxer also in the gym. And I sparred with him, and they were like, no, you young man, you was something, that you can give out in boxing. And they say, join the gym, and I joined the gym, yeah.
And so like when you get into the gym, is there somebody that specifically takes you under their wing and kind of teaches you about boxing?
Yes, my uncle, he did take care of me in the boxing. In the boxing, but by that time I was staying with my uncle, and my uncle both was a soldier, and there was also a boxing team in the soldier, soldier in the soldier where he works as a soldier. We always SADF. They used to call it SADF, South African Defense Force. So we used to travel with them to go and fight, at the time in different provinces in South Africa.
Yeah. Now, one thing when I had Lovemore on the podcast, one thing that he unfortunately didn't get to participate in a lot of international competition because of apartheid.
Yeah, we look apartheid, but those days it was big. It was big in South Africa, but we overcame that, and today we are in a better country where we everybody loves each other. As much as you don't know if somebody pretend or they don't pretend, but at the end of the day, we are all together. We speak the same language and we walk the same
And
walk.
and so, like, when do you make the trip and come over from South Africa and actually start fighting in the States? How does that happen?
Um, my first fight, going fight after the country, is when I went to the Olympics in 1986 in Atlanta.
Yep.
Traveling with the whole team, we all there, all colors, we're there, black, white, we all travel to Atlanta and to fight in the Olympics. And look, it was great to see that Rainbow Nation, what we call it Rainbow Nation in our country.
And did you have any people that you were watching? Like when you start boxing, are there any people that you're seeing on TV or that you're reading about? Like, you know how when you're growing up, you kind of have those people that you look up to in sports, those sports heroes. Did you have guys like that you were looking up to?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, my favorite boxer was Muhammad Ali. I
Yeah.
always know when he was a young man, and I love the way he fought, and I love the way he speaks. He will do anything in the ring. He will talk and walk the walk in the ring. So I did follow Muhammad Ali so much when I was very young.
Yeah, I think people like him. I think he resonates with people, not so much because of what a great fighter he was, but because what a great man that he was outside of the ring, too.
Yeah, Muhammad was a great man outside the ring. I remember the other time when I was when we were in Atlanta, I didn't meet him, and I also met his daughter when I was in LA fighting there,
Yeah.
and I
Yep.
like so and I was like, wow, I'm meeting the daughter of the greatest fighter in the world, Muhammad Ali, and
The
yeah,
greatest.
it was
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
yeah, the greatest. Yeah.
And and so when do you realize, man, that you've got this incredible punching power? Because that's obviously, I think, when people think about your career, I think they obviously, they think about the incredible knockout ratio, man. Yeah, I mean, like you have, 37 professional wins, 34 knockouts. So, when do you realize that you have this gift of incredible power?
I feel this when I was an amateur. When I went to the Olympics and I knocked out my first opponent, then I realized, wow, if I can knock the guy from Canada with a punch like this, then
Yeah.
yeah, I have power. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Which obviously is a nice problem to have because anytime you don't have to go to the scorecards, that's nice.
It's very good, man, to go to the scorecard, but
Y-
sometimes, you
y-
don't know what they're betting on the tables there, with the judges. So to get in the ring, and you're out is good because look,
Yeah.
we want to go home early. So some of us want to go home early and sleep. Some people want to go home early and sleep.
And that's one of the things that we still see in boxing right now, too, unfortunately. Sometimes we still see some bad scorecards and some bad judging. So if you can get a guy out of there and you don't have to go to a decision, that's a good day.
Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good payday for also, and people decide to recognize you with this guy is a knockout specialist. Look, I've knocked so many guys out, and look, I'm happy with that, with my record. As much as I've lost the fights also with knockout, but hey, my first knockout was in London when I was fighting Campbell, and he
Yeah.
caught me. And I was winning the fight, and he caught me. And he caught me, and I went down my knee, and in London. So now when they were counting, I want to get up, and when I started to get up, they said the fight is over, and I was like so disappointed that damn, I lost my
Yeah.
first fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is that the hardest that you've ever been hit?
Yes, yeah, the hardest, yeah, at the time when they knocked me down, yes,
Yeah.
that was my first knockout, yeah. And the other hardest fight that I got is when I was fighting one of the best boxers in South Africa, KS Baloyi,
Yep.
6-time world champion. That fight, which he was number one in the country in Africa and was number two in the world. It was the fight called pound for pound. I won the WU pound for pound belt and the all black pound for pound belt. I became a champion for that.
But I think obviously people are also going to remember the fact that in 2003 you shared the ring with, I don't know, arguably one of the greatest of all time in Floyd Mayweather, man. So what do you remember
The
about
money
that
man,
experience?
the money man, man. With that fight with the money man, I remember seeing myself going down number seven, and my corner throwing the towel in, which I was refusing for them to throw the towel in, because
Yeah.
I wanted to get up and try again and fighting, and they threw the towel in. I was so disappointed for them for throwing the towel in
What was it
in that
like being
fight.
in there with him, as opposed to other fighters that you had been in there with? If you're in there with the Floyd Mayweather, are there differences? Are you noticing, his skill level? Is there anything that stood out to you about being in the ring with him?
Look, no one can take anything from Mayweather. Mayweather is a skillful boxer, and he was taught well by his father and his uncle. So
Yeah.
there's nothing to do from him really. The man is the best in the world. I don't care who says what, but I fought the best in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I want to get back to the fight with Lovemore though, because
Yeah, yeah.
obviously, obviously, it's got to be strange on some level when you're looking across the ring and you're seeing somebody that is actually family. Correct?
Yeah.
That's got to be difficult. That's got to be difficult.
He's my senior, he's my brother, my older brother. But look, when it comes to sports, sometimes things happen where you have to meet somebody that is related to you. And
Yeah,
look, I took the fight, yes. And when I took the fight, and they didn't know that he's gonna give me a shambok, and he's
yeah,
giving me a shambok. Okay, I'm the older brother here. Okay, you don't have to involve the brothers. But look, I enjoy fighting him, and I respect him even today, and I will also respect him, not
yeah.
because of the
He's a great
fight.
guy. I really enjoyed my conversation
Mm,
with him. I just had him on a couple of
mm,
weeks ago, man, and I would actually put him in that same category as a Muhammad Ali. A great fighter, man. But what he does outside the ring is fantastic. As far as helping
mm,
people as a
mhm.
lawyer, providing
Yeah. Mm,
pro bono work. He's trying to get involved
mm,
in politics back in your country. There, I mean,
yes,
he really is just a great, great guy.
No, look, Lermont is a great guy, and he's also doing good things, for the country. And I always say, look, I wish all the best for him in his political movement for
Yeah,
everything to do great. Yes, as much I'm not in politics, but I would say, look, we need change.
yeah.
In our country, we need to see someone who cares about people, but put people first and put yourself last.
Was it difficult for you to walk away from the sport? And how did you know that it was time to walk away from the sport?
It was difficult, because you must remember I moved my first time when I moved from out of the sport is when I was they realized that I have a cyst in my brain.
Yeah,
Then yeah, when I was going to fight in London, then the fight was cut off, and I was didn't go to London to fight, and I stayed for 4 years without fight. And now look, I was meditating always and praising, look God, how can you do this to me to have this
right.
brain cyst? And that 4 years was very hard for me, knowing that I love the sport. I love to be in the ring. I love punishing. I love smelling blood in the ring and the sweat. It's not happening no more. It killed my spirit. But with the
Yeah.
mercy of God and everything, I came back again to boxing. It's when the time when I fought Love Mondo. I think it was my that fight after coming back to boxing again.
And so,
But it
what
was
has life
painful.
after boxing been like for you? Are you still involved in the sport on any level? Are you coaching, training, anything like that?
Yes, now what I'm doing, I'm training guys who want to not defend themselves and those who want to lose weight and those who want to understand boxing. The youngsters, I'm training them here back. I have my gym, my yard, and and look, I'm doing so much. Also, as I was appointed as an ambassador of boxing in the country by
Yeah.
the sports minister, and which last week we were awarded something, but the minister, look, guys, do this. And anyway, I'm doing that because I would love to see the youth coming out from the poverty and coming out from the street to focus education and sport.
And now, are you still a big fan of the sport? Are you following the sport? Are you watching a lot of it nowadays?
Look, to be honest with you, I'm not watching a lot of boxing nowadays, but boxing has been like, down a little bit, but you don't see a lot of broadcasters showing boxing anymore in the country. Yeah. But as I speak now, last week we went to the province where they call it's Kimberley, where I was invited there to come and watch boxing. And because I'm a trainer also now, I went there with my boxer. She's a lady, a boxer, and look, she performed so well. As much as she lost the fight, but I was happy with the performance that she gave to her opponent. Yeah.
Are there any guys right now that you particularly like? I know you're not watching a lot of boxing, but are there any guys that you're aware of that are on your radar that you enjoy?
There are a lot of them guys that I follow. As much as I don't know their names that much, but the guy that I do follow is today that I know that when they get in the ring, they give they give it all, and I love watching those guys. Look, as much as I'm not so much in boxing, I like watching every time or following boxing, but I know there are guys who are doing so much in boxing now.
What would you say was the highlight of your career for you?
For me, becoming a world champion by fighting my homeboy, KS Baloy, those are the highlights. Because I won the fight, and I was one of the pound for pound boxer in the country.
And now, was it hard for you, like when you were fighting? Did you have a hard time staying around your fighting weight, or were you somebody that was pretty disciplined and walked around pretty close to your fighting weight?
Look, I was very disciplined boxer when I was fighting. I was never over 10 kg away from my weight. I was always in the gym.
Yeah, that
I
makes
think
it easy.
that's what that kept me, fit and strong. I was never you never see Philip, coming to the ring overweight at all. I was never overweight at the weight. It was always straight to my weight.
Is there anybody during your career that ever got under your skin? Because you seem like a very even tempered guy. You don't seem like a guy who was going to engage in a lot of trash talk and get pulled into a war of words. Is there anybody, were all your fights pretty much just business, or did anybody really ever make it personal and get under your skin?
Nah,
No.
no, not really, no one. Look, I always say to people, boxing is a family sport.
Yeah.
Boxing brings people together. People they can be in one roof and sit because of boxing. So boxing, I don't have an enemy like others that they hate each other. I don't hate my opponents. I don't hate my former opponents. Those I lost to. I still love him today because look, it's a sport. It's to go inside the ring there and show
Yeah.
skills. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, because I imagine if you go into a fight angry, I guess that could probably be counterproductive and work against you too.
It's true. If you
You
go in
know?
the ring angry, you're gonna be bumped out so quick
Yeah, that's
also,
not gonna.
and you won't show your skills anymore because you are going there very angry. Look, sometimes we find boxers fighting fights of their trainers because trainers they are trainers that hate each other, they don't like each other. So you find yourself doing that, and that's wrong. Fight your own fight.
Is it difficult when you get the label of being a quote a knockout artist? Because then people almost start to expect your fights to end in a knockout. Does it put added pressure on you because people are coming and they're saying, "Wow, we're probably going to get a knockout here." Do you put any added pressure on yourself to look for a knockout, or do they just come?
Look, all my knockouts, I was never pressurized by anyone or my fans. All my knockouts they come as they come.
Yeah.
I never look for the knockout to if I'm fighting. I always say, look, whatever happens, it happens. If I go 12 rounds, hey, I'm happy. If it doesn't go 12 rounds, I'm happy at the point. So I never look for the knockout.
And do you feel
Really,
like
I
you
never.
are, and you feel like this knockout power was always present, or did it come at a certain point in your career? Did you always have
It
it?
was,
Was it always there?
it was always there. It was always there. It was just hiding somewhere. I don't knowing where, but it was also as an
And so
amateur,
what
I
do you
used to know them out.
and so what do you attribute it to? It's God given?
Yeah, it's called giving power.
Has to be, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll tell you what, that's not a bad gift to have when you're a boxer. You know?
True. I mean, there are so many boxers that they would love to have knockout punch, but don't have.
Right.
But to have a gift like that, for me, it's like, hey, it's good, man. But why should you be in the ring for 12 rounds and get bruised? To all
Right.
my fights, I only got bruised once when I was fighting Case Baloy. Either
Yeah.
you knock me out, or either you knock me out, or I knock you out.
Is there
You
anybody in
take
your
what.
career is there anybody in your career that you wanted to fight and it just didn't come to fruition? Didn't happen?
Look, Mayweather, yes, it happened because I wanted to fight him so much.
Yep.
Because I believe that, look, I can beat him. And who else? And then, yeah, and my brother too, who beat me
Yep.
today. I
Yep.
want to teach you a lesson, my brother. So, but
Yeah.
Mayweather is the one that I want to fight so much. Yeah. So look, one day I wanna beat this young man from America. But
Yeah, he was
anyway,
kind
me
of
and
the
Mayweather,
crown jewel. Yeah. Yeah. I could see him
yeah,
being the crown jewel, obviously, man. You know what I mean? Like back
yeah.
around then, man, you know what I mean? Like he was kind of the bar that you set yourself against to kind of see where you're at. Everybody wanted to fight Floyd.
Everyone wants to fight Floyd because they want to prove something they can do. But look,
Right.
let, let's give it to him that the young man, as is my age, he's skillful. We
Yeah.
cannot take that away from him here.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So life after boxing though has been good for you though, as far as like your health and everything like that. How are you these days?
Look, I'm pretty good. I'm married. I have a beautiful wife. That takes care of me. And look, she's always there for me. She's also started their own boxing promotions that
Yep.
she's doing for boxing. She also manages boxers. She's my manager. If I as I speak right now, she manages everything about my life.
That's good. Hey, listen, as a married guy, I know, man, having a good woman behind you, man, that's what it's all about, right?
And everything goes well when you have a married man. Believe me, everything goes so well. And look,
Much
like
better.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
I'm happy. And I'm enjoying my life. I'm enjoying my retirement as much as I don't want to retire. Look, but I am enjoying it because I have a beautiful wife that loves me.
Listen, man, I'm glad that life is going so good for you, man. And it was a real pleasure getting the chance to have you on here, man. I appreciate you doing it on such short notice. The two of us are in contact now. Please stay in touch, man. I would love to have you back on again at some point.
Not a problem, Sam. Anytime. It's your
Yeah, I
time, Sam.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. It was great seeing you and great talking to you, Philip. Thank you so much, my friend.
Salute, champ.
All right, we'll talk again soon, my friend. Thank you.
Sharp, sharp,
Bye
my
bye.
friend.
There he goes, folks. The great Philip Indo. Boy, that's got to be tough right there, man. Looking across the ring and fighting Lovemore Indo, who I had on the podcast, had the pleasure of having a great conversation with a couple of weeks ago, man. Again, Mr. International does it again, going over to South Africa, man. Thank you so much to Philip Indo. He was actually scheduled for tomorrow. I had a last-minute cancellation today. We pushed it ahead. Literally got home from my day job, jumped on there, man, got the notice that I was having a cancellation, said, hey, you want to do it today? Boom. All of a sudden, there's Philip Indo joining us all the way from South Africa, man. So really appreciate being able to catch up with him, man. Shared the ring with the great Floyd Mayweather back in 2003. Finished his career 37-5 with 34 knockouts. As you heard him say, man, blessed with that special ability to knock motherfuckers out. And that's a good thing when you're a boxer, man. So that was Philip, the Time Bomb Indo. Appreciate him joining us, man, on such short notice. So great to catch up with him, man. And when he came in here, I was getting ready to go into promotion mode. Of course, make sure to like and follow Off the Couch Boxing on Facebook. Go to the Facebook. You will get updates on new episodes, when they are dropping, and who will be on those episodes, as well as any other big pertinent boxing news. If it's popping off in the fight game, I'm going to share it on the Facebook page. You will be kept informed. I think people can agree that I very much tapped into what's going on in the boxing world, and I do my best to share it with my audience, whether it's a big fight announcement, fight results, breakdowns, analysis, predictions, viral videos, big announcements, anything that's popping off, it's going to be up there, man. So get tapped into Off the Couch Boxing on Facebook. And of course, if you're here right now watching this video, you are in the right place. Pat yourself on the back, because you have found the best boxing content on planet Earth, the most amazing and real conversations. They happen right here on Off the Couch Boxing. As I said before my guest got in here, legends, luminaries, world champions, and fighters on the rise. Got to have the young guys on here, man. That's the big thrill that I get, man. Of course, it's always great to talk to the OGs, always great to talk to the legends, man. But giving a platform and seeing this next generation of fighters, as a lifelong fight fan myself, man, seeing this next crop of guys that are coming up, man, young, hungry, man, doing their thing, man, and doing it in a big way. That gives me a charge, man. So I try to have a nice blend of both. That's why I'm the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of boxing podcast. More on that in a second, but just go look at the playlist. It is a nice blend of all those things that I just mentioned. There's something on there for everybody, that I can assure you of. Very proud of the playlist. Go peruse it. Go look. Amazing conversations are on there with incredible people associated with the fight game. I'm very proud of it, and I'd like to take this time right now to give a big thank you and express my gratitude. I try to do it every couple episodes. Sometimes I'm good about it. Sometimes I forget. It happens. But a big thank you to all my viewers and my devoted subscribers. We are climbing slowly but surely, but like they say, slow and steady wins the race. We're getting there, folks. Big things still to come. Big guests still to come. But can't do it without you guys. And of course, a big, big thank you goes out to the tremendous guests that I have on here that are part of the fight game. Without them, this doesn't exist at all, man. So a big thank you to, again, all those young up-and-coming fighters, all those legendary fighters, and anybody tied to the boxing game that chooses to come on this podcast. And, I'm always in awe when the people pop up on the screen, man, especially people that I grew up watching, man. It's a big treat for me, because at the end of the day, I do this podcast, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan at the end of the day, man. And like I always say, the guests that come on here, I don't just pull their name randomly out of a hat. They're on here for a reason. They've come on my radar. I've watched them. I admire them. I love what they do, man. And I run them down specifically to have them on here. But I am receptive. Reach out to me on Facebook. Reach out to me in the comment section if there's somebody you want to see on here and you want me to try to run them down, or you have a lead on how to run them down. Do share. I will do my best, man, to keep my audience happy, man. I'll chop it up with anybody on here, man. Anybody tied to the boxing world, man, are more than welcome on here, man. We're putting out great boxing content, man, and just getting down to the brass tacks, man. Just having real free form conversation on here, man. We're all over the board with it, man. I just posted my last episode with Ebenezer Stuntman Griffith. We chopped it up for an hour and a half. We were talking boxing. We were talking religion. We were talking spirituality. We were talking family. We were talking food. We were talking boxing movies. We were making moves. We were making moves, man. We were all over with it, man. And that's what I love right there, man. Not just cookie cutter questions about, their career and, the standard atypical boxing interview or sports interview that you see, man. I like to keep it, I like to keep it free form. I like to keep it light. I like to keep it fun, but I like to also make sure that it's informative. That's what you'll get here, man. That's what I can guarantee, man, as the host of this podcast. So with that being said, if you're watching now, like, subscribe, smash that notification bell to stay tapped in, man. This is where you need to be. And I got good news for you. Like I said earlier, we are the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of boxing podcast. The resume speaks for itself, man. I will defend the title against anybody. Show me a better list of guests. Show me a better playlist, man. And hey, I'll be impressed. But I don't think you can do it. I don't think it exists. I don't think it's out there, man. And the good news is you too can be a champion. Yes, you watching at home, you can be a champion by simply continuing to watch Off the Couch Boxing and continuing to roll with us. Continue to roll with the champs. Peace.